Let me tell you what you are missing, Dr. Jones. While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you. You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
All right, so we've gotten another Indiana Jones thing, and this time it is a video game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. All right, so I love Indiana Jones. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. You know, I grew up watching Raiders, and I remember watching, the trilogy a lot, mainly Raiders a lot, and that one's my favorite. And then I saw Kingdom in theaters. I think it was like 6, 7 years old or something like that. And I was kind of like, hey, this is cool. Like, this is kind of cool. And then a few years later, I then rewatched it and went, yeah, that's kind of stupid. It's kind of bad. It was very much me with like Spider-Man 3. When I saw it, I was like, this is cool. And then I saw it later. I was just like, that is awful. So, yeah. So, and then I saw Dial of Destiny, and my God, I had so much hate in my soul after watching that. But anyway, we now have gotten a video game. And it is made by MachineGames, who are the people who have done the new Wolfenstein games, which I have played the New Order, and I think I played parts of the Old Blood, but after playing New Order, I'm like, this is really hard. And like, even on easy, this is really hard. So I was kind of like, I like the story, but maybe these are kind of games where I'm like, maybe I watch these get played, because yeah, if a game is really hard, it kind of tests my patience. It really does, which is why I've never played any like the Dark Souls games or Cuphead, as much as I want to play Cuphead because of the way it looks. People have said it is really difficult, and I'm watching it get played, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure my controller will be thrown out the window at this point, like 5 minutes in, so no. So, but it was an Indiana Jones game, and I'm like, I want to play this. And it, despite me playing it on easy, it was really hard. It was really hard. I can't tell you how many times I was like, all right, Wiki, how do I do this? And I was like, oh, yeah. So anyway, so this game, it takes place between Raiders and Crusade. Now remember, Temple is the prequel, so Temple and Raiders have happened, but Crusade has not happened yet. So this takes place between those Raiders and Crusade. And Indiana Jones is kind of, he after the events of Raiders, him and Marilyn, things didn't work out because she was very much like, you are too busy chasing the past. You're not looking at the present. You're not looking at the future. You're always looking at the past. And they just strained, which makes sense when you watch Kingdom. It was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And he then goes on this big mystery of finding artifacts that then lead to this big, great circle. And the Nazis, as usual, they're finding it as well. So, whoopity-doo. So, the story is very interesting. I'm going to say this. This is the best Indiana Jones thing since Crusade. Because Kingdom, I liked until you got to the scene where Shia LaBeouf is swinging with monkeys. That's when I lost it. I was like, nope, you don't even know what you're doing anymore. And then the entirety of Dial of Destiny, I just hated that movie so much. So So this is the best thing since Crusade. And the fact that, Crusade came out in 89 is just, we had almost 40 years of a really good Indiana Jones thing to come out. And it took way too long, but they did it. And the story is really interesting. Troy Baker playing Indiana Jones, I swear that guy's a chameleon. He's so good. I mean, he goes from like playing Booker in BioShock Infinite and then plays Joel in The Last of Us. Now he's doing Indiana Jones, and he nails Harrison Ford. There are so many times where I'm like watching the cutscenes, and I can tell it was all like I can't think motion capture. And there's like little things where, like, if you watch, like, Harrison Ford, he points a lot in his movies and kind of like shakes his hand while he's pointing. They do that here. And I was like, that's a nice little like Ford thing that he does. Like, that's kind of cool. And the sound design in this is amazing. I mean, this feels like what Star Wars Battlefront, the newer ones, should have been. Where they got the sound down, they got the visuals down, they made it look and sound like a Star Wars movie, but there was just nothing there. There was no story. There was nothing to keep you engaged. It was kind of like you're watching, all your Star Wars action figures just mashing them together. There was nothing else. MachineGames took the time to make this look, and especially make it sound like something you would hear in an Indiana Jones movie. Like, for example, every time that you punch someone, it's the same sound effect as the movies, like that whoosh, like sound. It's the same one, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. So this is something definitely for the fans. MachineGames, they put the heart, they put sweat, probably tears, and especially the love of Indiana Jones into this, because they realize, like, we need to make this game justice, because the last good Indiana Jones thing that came out was Crusade. So we need to buckle down and actually make this as good as we can. And they definitely did. The only bad I can give it is the fact that even on easy, this game is really difficult. But it is made by MachineGames, so their games are pretty hard, even on easy. So I don't know if that's just their motivation. I don't know if that's their motive. But yeah, so pretty difficult. So I would say if you're going to play this game, play it on easy. The puzzles, there are times where some of them get a little difficult, but it's mainly just, how it works, because it is very, very precise and very specific. So, it's a pretty difficult game, even on easy, but this, to overall this feels like what the Star Wars Battlefront game should have been. They put all the time and effort into making it look and sound like the universe, but they forgot to like put a story and make it all collide. But MachineGames actually did that. So it actually feels like you're playing a movie. You're controlling the movie. So it's like, that's really cool. And, even like little things, there's like little spots of dialogue that I was like, I get what you said. And like, there's a part where, I won't say where you go, but Indy says like, oh, wow, Sala would love this. And then the person you're with is just like, who? And it's like, never mind. And you just move on. I was like, I get what you said. Or like a part where he references a character from Temple of Doom. And it's just like, yeah, I bet he's going through this right now. And like, what? No, nothing. So it's like, I got what you said. So it's like, if you love Indiana Jones, you probably have already played this, or you're waiting to play it. Play it on easy. But if you are a fan of Indiana Jones, this is honestly the best thing since Crusade. They just put a lot of time and effort into making this as great as they could. So yes, this definitely gets a great. Would I play this again? If they made it easier, probably, but I don't see that happening. But I would like to like watch like all the cutscenes like spliced together, because I'm like, I'd watch that. Like honestly, I would watch like one of those compilations on YouTube that grab all of the cutscenes together and make it like a movie, because I've seen those before. Make that like a movie. I'd rather watch that than some of Kingdom, and all. I'd rather watch that over Dial. I'd rather watch this maybe over Kingdom. Like I'll start watching Kingdom and then just go, nope, I'm done, and then flip to this. And to be honest, I think I've said this before, I don't really care much for Temple. So yeah, but they managed to make something truly special and something for diehard Indiana Jones fans to play. And boy, did they nail it. So yeah, the Great Circle, absolutely great.
Patron of the fallen angels, protector of the Circulimani, the Great Circle. You have any idea how old that was?